Hey guys, today I'm gonna do top 14 14 monsters that are scarier than dinosaurs. But guys, before I start this video, I figured out that 98.2% of our viewers aren't actually subscribed. So make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so we can get past 98.2. Dinosaurs were always thought to be the most horrifying, most terrifying creatures of all time. There are some that are very powerful, but there were some creatures that were very horrifying and even worse than dinosaurs. And some could even, and some were even, and some could even be, and some were even, or even creatures that killed dinosaurs. So you're gonna show you all the worst creatures that could possibly make dinosaurs run. So make sure to stay tuned. Number 14, Meganura. The Meganura is a large prehistoric flying insect that lived on Earth during the Carboniferous. And what makes them extra terrifying that they were actually carnivores and they like to eat meat. Their diet usually consists in reptiles and smaller dragonflies. And they're even the size of birds. And their wings can be as long as a human, and as a human's arm. The Meganeura was such a large dragonfly, but the real reason why Meganeura and the other insects were so large during the Carboniferous period because during that time there were lots of oxygen during that time. Because there were more oxygen than the oxygen we had today. So that's why insects in the Carboniferous period were so large. Number 13, the Siren Head. Unlike the other creatures on this list, the Siren Head is actually a fictional creature. And it was created by this Canadian horror artist named Trevor. He's described as a skinny creature with two sirens inside his head, and inside of his sirens are filled with razor sharp teeth. The siren heads actually turned out to be a very horrifying creature, and it enjoys eating, and the thing it likes to eat is people. And don't be fooled by his slender body. There are more than actually one slender. There are actually more than one siren head. And they can be found in dark forests. The siren head sounds can make the siren head sirens can make sounds like television or commercial, and even sounds of people or animals. Number 12, the Goblin Shark. The Goblin Shark is a horror creature that lived in deep seas, and it's actually a prehistoric creature that's still alive today. They like to eat fish. They like to eat fish and other prey, and they kill their prey by extending their jaws and then sucking their prey right inside their mouths. They're actually very terrifying creatures, and they have scared many people. And this is actually a real monster. Even though it might look like a character from a horror movie, it's actually a real monster. Number 11, Sarcosuchus. The Sarcosuchus is described as a large crocodilian creature. Even though it's not technically a crocodile, even though it's like a relative but not a distant relative, this creature is very fast and really horrifying. And actually, this creature even lived around during dinosaur times and even killed dinosaurs. Yes, they even hunted dinosaurs, and it could even be strong enough to defeat the T-Rex. And its snout and head is similar to a modern-day burial crocodile. The Sarcosuchus lived in which is now Africa. So lived in at the Cretaceous period. So lived during the same time as Spinosaurus. Number 10, the short-faced bear. Don't get fooled by its name. This bear is actually much larger than a polar bear, and a grizzly bear too. Short-faced bears like to hunt and eat large prey, like giant ground sloths, and even lived during the same time as the American lion and Smilodon. These large apex predators were very powerful. And they're even twice the size of a human when they're standing upright. Number 9. Megalania. The megalania is described as a large, dangerous monitor lizard. This is probably one of the largest terrestrial lizards of all time. Megalania is even larger than its modern relative, the Komodo dragon. And its fossils were discovered in Australia. They were large, massive, venomous lizards. And each of their mouths are filled with razor-sharp teeth, like a shark's teeth. And they were actually very powerful killers. Number 8. Leopleurodon. The Leopleurodon was a ferocious marine reptile. It was a type of pliosaur. It was a type of pliosaur reptile. It was not technically a dinosaur, and they were related to plesiosaurs. It lived during the Jurassic period, and which is now discovered in the United States. And they could even hunt other dinosaurs too. Usually, some people say that the Leopleurodon was a large creature, and it was extremely gigantic. But it was actually a bit smaller than a modern day great white shark. The creature was very fast, and could even beat a swimmer in a race. And Leopleurodon even feasted on sharks and other plesiosaurs and even other pliosaurs too. Number 7. Titanoboa. The Titanoboa is a large prehistoric snake. They lived right after the dinosaurs went extinct. Titanoboa existed which is now Brazil and South America. It lived in the Amazon rainforest and liked eating turtles and crocodiles and other creatures. The Titanoboa was actually a very powerful killer, and it was even bigger than the anaconda. And the snake is so strong enough it could even devour and kill a T-Rex with just one squeeze. The Titanoboa was so powerful. The Titanoboa is really creepy. It's even longer than a school bus. And they were also really great swimmers too. And just like other constrictor snakes, Titanoboa doesn't have any venom, but they were still dangerous creatures because they could still swallow and devour their prey. Number 6. Gorgonopsid. The Gorgonopsid was a terrifying and horrifying predator. Before the dinosaurs were the top predators of the food chain, Gorgonopsid existed and became the world's most terrifying predator. It had large fangs like a saber tooth, and also Gorgonopsids were very agile and powerful creatures. They were not really related to reptiles. They were like a cross between mammals. And Gorgonopsids could stick their teeth into their victims, and even kill their victims too. And they were the top predator during the late Permian. Number 5. The colossal squid. The colossal squid is a large cephalopod creature. It was one of the largest squids ever. But people don't have a lot of tapes of the colossal squid since they're very hard to find. Colossal squids are very powerful and really dangerous creatures. And actually, they're still alive today. And actually, some people think colossal squid met the megalodon, but colossal squid actually never met the megalodon. but they can hunt their victims with their large tentacles, and they were assumedly gruesome carnivores. This large cyclopsian monster was even depicted as an urban legend, and some people even compared it to a kraken. It was even larger than the giant squid, and they were and they were very powerful creatures with a lot of large tentacles and suction cups. Number four, the bloop. The bloop is a large hypothetical animal that's a really mysterious sound. And actually, they were one of the largest sea monsters to exist. They were even bigger than the blue whale. But don't worry, the bloop is actually a fictional creature. But yes, they are pretty big and kind of terrifying, and they make you wish you never went to the ocean. And they have very big mouths, and they can hunt their prey. They are very dangerous urban legend sea monsters. Number three, the megalodon. The megalodon is a large prehistoric shark that has the strongest bite force out of any type of animal. Its teeth are so strong that could crush a car. Megalodon also name means big tooth, and its jaws were actually larger than an average person. Megalodon even hunted whales. A megalodon is way much more dangerous and way much more fearsome than its modern relative, the great white shark. Since you guys know since you guys know the movie Jaws, megalodons were very fearsome creatures, and they have been getting pretty popular since the movie Meg came out. They live in large waters, and they could hunt, and they live in large waters, and they even lived during the Miocene. But megalodon probably went extinct because because the whales that like to eat were way much more faster, and then the temperature started to get colder, so megalodon had to go to warm water. But then it started running out of food, and has no more food to eat. The megalodon is a very horrifying creature, and also the biggest shark to ever exist. It's even bigger than the whale shark, and also the largest predatory fish, even larger than the great white, and it's twice the size of a T Rex. Number two, the Quetzalcoatlus. The Quetzalcoatlus is a pterosaur creature that lived during dinosaur times. But pterosaurs were not actually dinosaurs, and they were not even birds either. Pterosaurs were actually more related to lizards, not birds. And the Quetzalcoatlus was the largest pterosaur ever, even the largest flying animal. And its body is the same size as a giraffe. The Quetzalcoatlus was really big, but scientists say that it spent most of its time on the ground. There are many opinions. Some say it was too heavy to fly, and some say it was really too heavy to fly. And they liked eating, and they also like to eat smaller dinosaurs and even dead dinosaurs. They have large beaks, and they have really dangerous and large beaks, and they can and just like modern day bats and birds, pterosaurs even fly with long distances. Number one, the helicoprion. The helicoprion is described as a prehistoric fish that existed on Earth before the megalodon. Helicoprions were not technically sharks. Well, they were relative to sharks, but not a distant relative. And they were creepy and horrifying creatures. And they have a circular saw blade inside their mouths to hunt and kill their victims. The helicoprion was a very dangerous and powerful and formidable creature. They could kill almost any type of creatures they see in the water. But But when the Permian extinction happened, the creatures died in the ocean and they couldn't be able to survive. They like hunting fish, cephalopods, and other creatures, especially even other sharks. That's all for today. Make sure to like this video and comment down below. And we'll see you guys next time. And also press the notification bell to see a new video. Bye.